Chapter 11. Mumbai welcomed Naina home with the scent of damp earth and the distant hum of the Arabian Sea. The monsoon clouds hung heavy in the sky, mirroring the storm of emotions within her. She had left the city months ago, seeking clarity. She had found success, admiration, and a stage grander than she ever imagined. But as she stepped out of the airport, her heart told her the truth. This was where she belonged. And waiting for her, leaning against his sleek black car, was Aditya. Dressed in a charcoal suit, his presence was as commanding as ever. But there was something different now. Something softer. "You came," she said, stopping in front of him. Aditya gave her a small, lopsided smile. "Did you really think I wouldn't?" She let out a breathy laugh, shaking her head. How did he always manage to disarm her? Without another word, he took her suitcase from her, opened the car door, and gestured for her to get in. "Come on, Ms. Kapoor. Mumbai has missed you." Naina raised an eyebrow. "Just Mumbai?" Aditya's gaze darkened, a silent confession in his eyes. She felt the warmth spread through her chest as she slid into the car. The city rushed past them in a blur of neon lights and honking traffic, but inside the car, silence stretched between them. Not an uncomfortable one, but the kind that held anticipation. Finally, Aditya spoke. "There's something I need your help with." Naina turned to him, curious. "That's a first." Aditya chuckled. "Trust me, it's not easy for me to admit. But I'm working on that." She smiled. "Growth." He continued, his expression turning serious. "I'm organizing a charity event, one that benefits struggling artists, dancers, and independent art schools." Naina's heart skipped a beat. "That's incredible." "It's not just about the money," Aditya said. "I want to create a space where art and business don't have to be at odds. And I need someone who understands that balance." Naina's fingers tightened around her sari. This was real. This wasn't just an apology. It was action. He was choosing to be different. "You want me to choreograph the event," she said. Aditya met her gaze. "I want you to lead it." The weight of his trust settled over her. But instead of fear, she felt something stronger, pride. "I'll do it," she said, the words steady. Aditya's shoulders relaxed, and for the first time in a long time, they felt like partners. The preparations for the event consumed the following weeks. Naina found herself back in the familiar chaos of rehearsals, guiding dancers through movements that told stories deeper than words could express. But this time, she wasn't fighting against the corporate world, she was working with it. Aditya was everywhere, ensuring sponsors were secured, using his influence to bring attention to the cause. But more than that, he was present. He would often watch rehearsals, sometimes leaning against the studio mirrors with a cup of coffee in hand. Other times he would step in, adjusting lighting, helping move props, even offering suggestions on the music. At first, Naina had been skeptical, but to her surprise, Aditya had a good instinct for aesthetics. "You know," she teased one evening, as they stood alone in the empty rehearsal hall. "For a ruthless businessman, you're oddly artistic." Aditya smirked. "I told you I used to play the piano as a kid." Naina raised an eyebrow. "And then what? You crushed those dreams under corporate takeovers." He chuckled, but there was a hint of regret in his expression. "Something like that." Naina hesitated before stepping closer. "Then maybe it's time you start again." Their eyes met, the air shifting between them. Then, with surprising ease, Aditya held out his hand. "Dance with me?" She blinked. "Now." He nodded. "Teach me something." "One step." Naina hesitated, then placed her hand in his. "Okay." She guided him through the simplest movement, a slow, controlled turn. At first he was stiff, but soon, he relaxed into her. Their hands remained clasped longer than necessary. When they finally pulled apart, Aditya's voice was rough. "You make me believe in things I never thought I could." Naina exhaled. "And you make me want to forgive things I never thought I would." In that moment, it wasn't just business. It wasn't just dance. It was them. The night of the event arrived, and Mumbai's elite gathered in the beautifully transformed gala hall. Chandeliers sparkled overhead, casting golden light over the crowd, while the stage stood at the center, waiting to come alive. Aditya had spared no expense, but this time, his wealth wasn't about status. It was about creating something meaningful. As the performance began, Naina stood at the edge of the stage, watching her dancers move through the piece they had crafted together. The fluidity, the grace, the passion. It was everything she had ever dreamed of showcasing on such a grand platform. And as the final note of the music rang through the hall, the audience erupted into a standing ovation. Naina turned, instinctively searching for him. Aditya was standing near the back, away from the limelight, watching her. But this time he wasn't just watching. He was in awe. After the applause died down, Aditya took the stage, microphone in hand. "Tonight isn't about business," he said, his deep voice carrying across the hall. "It's about something more. It's about art, about passion, about the stories we tell through movement and music." His gaze locked onto Naina's. "It's about how we find each other in the most unexpected places." She felt her breath catch. Aditya continued. "And it's about honoring those who dedicate their lives to art. Which is why I'm proud to announce that a portion of Singhania Industries' profits will now go toward funding independent artists across India." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Naina stared. He was serious. This wasn't just about making amends. It was a choice. A new beginning. The applause was deafening, but all Naina could hear was the pounding of her heart. As the event came to an end, she found him standing near the entrance. She walked up to him, emotions swirling in her chest. "You really did it." Aditya shrugged. "I had a good teacher." Naina swallowed, something inside her finally settling. He had given her something she had never expected. Not just love, but respect. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough to build something real. She reached out, fingers lightly brushing his. "You owe me another dance," she whispered. Aditya's lips curved into a slow smile. "I plan on spending a lifetime making up for that." And this time, she let him pull her close. Chapter 11.